The Saints have been making some big moves and big splashes in free agency these past few days. Especially on Monday, it was such like a big news, not only just around the NFL these past few days, but also just with the Saints adding big time additions to the offense, sort of big time additions to the defense. Who knows? Probably in the middle of me recording this video or whenever this video comes out, there'll probably be some more signings. I don't know. Of course, that will be going. That is, of course, what will be happening in today's video, going through, of course, all of the players that we signed, a few players that we lost, and of course, other stuff that kind of happened around the NFL, which was pretty crazy. Mike Evans no longer with Tampa Bay. He's going to San Francisco. The Max Crosby situation where we thought he was with the Ravens, but now where we thought he got traded to the Ravens, but now they backed out of the trade because he failed a physical. It's just so crazy. Other free agencies, players going to different teams. It's been a crazy free agency, but mostly we are going to be focusing on the Saints free agency, really, as of course they had some big moves, but also some sad news though with them sadly losing. Sadly losing a couple players to free agency as well, which we'll talk about that, and we'll talk about the players we added in free agency. Now, before we get into the video, you guys know as always, if you guys are new to the channel or haven't yet here on the BrewCrew channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell for future upcoming videos here on the BrewCrew channel. Of course, I know it's been a while since my previous video, which I talked about Derek Carr. If you guys have not seen that video, definitely go check it out. Link will be in the description below. Also in the description is the BrewCrew Instagram. Of course, I did a couple posts about the signings that we got, so if you guys are not following the Instagram, definitely go do that. Link to that is in the description below, so definitely go check it out. Definitely go follow. And so yeah, and hit the subscribe button, notification bell. Football content I do like this with Saints and LSU. I do wrestling content as well. So yes, so definitely do all that. Check out the previous video. I know it's been a while since that previous video came out. I've just kind of been dealing with school stuff and work and all that. But back here recording this, try to get back to recording some more videos every now and then and all that. So yeah, we'll get back with that. Now let's just go ahead and get right into the video, and let's just go ahead and get right into sort of the bad news, really, and that, of course, is the players that we lost. Now, we only lost 2 players, sadly, on the defensive side. First, the longtime veteran, Demario Davis. Of course, he is a Saints legend, definitely going to miss him. He was one of my favorite players to watch as a Saints fan, so definitely going to miss him. He signed a 2-year deal with the Jets. Of course, kind of shocking it was the Jets. Me personally, it's like, oh, it's a full circle moment. He's going to the team that drafted him, and maybe he's going to end his career there. But there's been some fans being like, why is he going to the Jets after we were like, go to a Super Bowl contender? But I mean, look, maybe he couldn't find anywhere else, and the Jets gave him an offer, and he was like, the Jets gave me a chance in the first place to play in the NFL, so why not go and play with them for the final few years or so? But that, of course, happened. The other one that I'm sort of sad for is Alontae Taylor. He, of course, was a player throughout the season, and, of course, at the end of the season, that was constantly being talked about as one of the players, along with Olave, to try to get some sort of extension, but sadly couldn't come to an agreement of any sort of extension like that. And he, of course, went into free agency, ended up signing a 3-year deal with the Tennessee Titans. Ended up 3-year contract with the Tennessee Titans, so that, of course, we'll be interested to see. So those are only 2 players that we lost. Of course, those are big-time positions on our defense, so that's, of course, going to be raising some questions of how, of course, the rest of this offseason will go with those positions. So we'll, excuse me. So yeah, we'll keep our eyes on that, but good news is we've been making big splashes, especially after what happened on Monday. Especially these past few days. Again, don't know if we'll continue to make splashes or continue to sign people in the middle of me recording this, but we'll see. So let's go ahead and get into the players that we ended up signing, and we'll talk about what it sort of means for the team as well. So the first player we ended up getting was a guard, I believe left guard. He is David Edwards, possibly one of the top guards in free agency in the first place, and we were able to get him and signed him to a 4-year, $45 million guaranteed deal with $20 million signing bonus. Now, this, of course, is big. This is just big for our offensive line overall. He's joining Eric McCoy, who could be coming back healthy. Eric McCoy, Fuaga, Banks, and then probably Caesar, depending on if he's healthy. So adding him, especially him being one of the top linemen and coming into free agency and being one of the top linemen in the league, this is definitely a big boost up for our offensive line, especially signing someone like David Edwards, especially for your young second-year quarterback in Tyler Shook, even though he is 27 years old and going to be 28. But anyway, probably not 28. He's probably going to be going to 27. I can't remember the age. But anyway, the biggest signing so far, even though, yes, we're going to talk about the other names that were big signings, the biggest one so far, Travis Etienne, the former Jaguars running back. He is actually a native to Louisiana, which I honestly didn't know that. Native to Louisiana, so that was sort of a big reason why he came in play. We signed him to a 4-year, $52 million deal. Now, he, of course, has been a really great player. He was a great player with Clemson. He has been a great player with Jacksonville. He had a great season last year with 1,107 yards rushing and 7 touchdowns. He was a big impact on the team, making the playoffs and having a great record last year. So definitely adding him, he is, I believe, he is 27 years old. So he's not young, but he is definitely still an experienced back that we could add. Him joining, don't know the status with Keandre Miller, but joining potentially returning healthy Keandre Miller, Alvin Kamara, and Devin Neal, depending on what happens with him. But of course, it does spark questions with Alvin Kamara a little bit. With Alvin Kamara, who of course has finished the past 2 seasons with an injury, and apparently there is also questions and rumors apparently that he could potentially be retiring this offseason since the addition of Travis Etienne. But that's just mostly been rumors. I don't know if that is true. But of course, you see this as possibly both of them sharing the backfield if you don't want to risk Alvin Kamara again being your starting running back and getting most of the workload, and that being, of course, one of the reasons why he keeps getting injured. But you have a running back like Travis Etienne who can share that load with Alvin Kamara. That right there is a match made in heaven for your backfield. And then, of course, you have running backs like Keandre Miller if he comes back healthy, and a young Devin Neal. That's a really good running back room. Now, of course, real quick before we get more into the other players, it does raise questions about Jeremiah Love, because who's been predicted by multiple mock drafts to either go to us or the Chiefs, who the Chiefs just signed Kenneth Walker, Super Bowl MVP. Do we still get Jeremiah Love if he's there for availability at number 8? Now, of course, this will be a whole separate video I will have out probably later on that I will talk about this later on. But for right now, I don't know what that question would be if you go with the running back, if now you get Travis Etienne. So I don't know. The next player we ended up getting was a punter. Quickly with him, punter Ryan White, former punter from the Minnesota Vikings, signed a 4-year deal with a 2.5 signing bonus and $8 million guaranteed. Of course, not be the exciting free agent, but it's a position that the Saints has one of the biggest needs coming into this free agency. The previous punter, he averaged only 37.3 net yards per punt, which ranked among the bottom in the league. So having Ryan Wright, who I believe has been in the league for a really long time, and you signing a big 4-year deal, he's possibly a legitimate punter. So this is honestly a really good signing so far, even though it is just a punter. Now, the next one we got was John Ridgway III, who I believe was a former player. He was acquired by us. I don't know if he was a free agent, became a free agency, and then we were able to get him back. But he signed a 2-year deal worth $6.2 million. He missed significant portion of last year while on injured reserve, and he'll return to the defensive line rotation as a backup and add depth to their run defense, especially, of course, with the news coming out with Cam Jordan, which I should have said at the beginning. Cam Jordan sadly not being able to come to an agreement with his contract. He, of course, I believe is free agent. No news on him of where he is going or anything, where he signed or who is wanting to potentially sign him. But we'll see. So let's look at the next player, which was honestly a shocker as well, that it was tight end Noah Fant. Now this is honestly big for our tight end room, adding him with Juwan Johnson, with of course the news potential, no news being yet for sure, potentially of both Taysom Hill and Foster Moreau potentially becoming free agents, which could be today. No news about that, so if any news happens, I will post it on Instagram. Again, go follow the Instagram. Link is in the description below. Definitely go and do that. Hope you guys do. So there's no news yet on that. Probably will in a minute. If something pops up, you'll probably see my reaction if something pops up in me recording this. But this is still a big addition. Of course, he's not been one of the top tight ends. We signed him to just a short 2-year deal on Monday. I don't think nothing yet has come out. I can't remember. I think it did actually come out a while back of how much money he's getting or something. But of course, he was formerly with the Cincinnati Bengals only for 1 year. He was actually a part of during a training camp last year with the team, so he was eyed by the team last year. But he ended up going to Cincinnati. He had 34 catches, 388 yards, and 3 touchdowns. But he had also his lows during the season, which he had 3 fumbles, all 3 of them being returned for touchdowns against the Bengals. So he does have some fumble troubles, but he was really good. He was really used good in the run block as a run blocker on 142 plays and had an 82.3% win rate on those plays. So that honestly is a really good win rate for a tight end. So honestly, yes, you probably could have, if you have him, just him and Juwan be your sort of 2 tight ends on the field. You have Noah Fant be more of the run block type of tight end, and then Juwan be more of the pass tight end, the vertical threat tight end like he was last year. And that's a really good combination that you could have in your tight end room as well. You have a blocking tight end who can help you with the run game, and then you have that vertical threat tight end like Juwan Johnson who can, of course, be your deep threat guy and all that. So that's definitely going to be something to look forward to, especially with this edition of Noah Fant. The final edition, as of right now, this was yesterday, and there's actually a return of Caden Ellis, the linebacker Caden Ellis. He was formerly with the Falcons. He agreed to sign a 3-year, $33 million deal with a $23 million guarantee. This was per NFL Network, of course. What it means is we've got ourselves a big-time, not really a big-time linebacker, but a little bit helping our linebacker room with, of course, Demario Davis going to the Jets. Ellis was a 7th-round pick. He's coming in 30 years old. He was a 7th-round pick back in 2019. He ended up signing with the Falcons back in 2023, where he spent, of course, 2023, 2024, and 2020, and this past season in 2025. Now, of course, is back. He was mostly a role player during his time in New Orleans, and in his final season developed into a 17-game starter for the Falcons in his final season. So he was a full-time starter this past year, and possibly looking to be a full-time starter again with the Saints, with now his second stint with New Orleans. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. He's a sign, but he, of course, is not. This is not going to replace. It says it here on ESPN. The Ellis sign is not going to replace Davis as a leader, which the Saints will have to adjust with the longtime captain gone. So that is definitely going to be the interesting thing, especially with this linebacker room. Because right now, you have the addition of Caden Ellis. You, of course, have Stutzman, the young rookie who could play that linebacker role. And then, of course, you have Pete Warner, who has been with the team, could go to that captain role, but that's what the question is going to be. Who is going to be that captain role on this defense is what's going to have to be is what's going to be the question. So I'm definitely looking forward to everything. As of right now, that was the last signing we have over the past few days. So that's the last name we're going over. Again, a lot of questions, especially with the Travis Etienne stuff. Do we draft Jeremiah Love? Do we go to something else? All that I will talk about more in another video that I will do, of course, talking more about it, which was supposed to be this video. But with the stuff that happened Monday with the free agency, I was like, I got to make a video on this. I got to talk about the freaking players that we just signed, potentially continue the sign. Again, I will let y'all know and post, of course, and all that, the updates and all that on the Instagram. Again, I said it like 2 times, now 3rd time. Go follow the Instagram. Link is in the description below. If you guys want to check out the previous video where I talk about the Derek Carr situation, definitely go check it out. Link to that will be in the description below as well. But let me know y'all's thoughts and all that with, of course, us signing these players and everything else as well in the comments down below. Really, the only questions that we kind of have after these free agency signings is who is going to be the man to step up as sort of the defensive captain, with technically not only DeMario Davis gone, but you also got Cam Jordan gone. You have your 2 veteran leaders gone. So who's going to step up as that leader, not only for the team, but for this defense all around? So that is going to be something interesting to see throughout the offseason and going into next season. And of course, the other question leads to the draft. With Jeremiah Love is there, do you get him and you bolster up more your running back room? Of course, we'll talk about that more in another video, so make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel and have the notification bell on. If you guys made it all this way to this part of the video, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, let me know y'all's thoughts in the comments down below about everything, about all the signings that we got and all the other questions that I've said, so let me know y'all's thoughts. Again, sort of a draft video will come out probably in a couple days. I don't know if say in a couple days, but it will be the next video that will probably coming out. Don't want to say soon, but hopefully at some point I will get the video out to you guys. And so yeah, so I think again we're gonna end it here. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, go follow the Instagram. Link is in the description below. Go follow me on X as well. My X account is also in the description below to link to that. Link to the previous video if you guys want to go check it out, as well as in the description. So definitely go check out the previous video where I talk about Derek Carr. So definitely do all those stuff. All those links are in the description below, so definitely go do that. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, if you guys enjoyed the video, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and also hit the notification bell for future upcoming videos here on the BrewCrew channel. And with that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing, wonderful, blessed day, and I will see you guys in my next video.